Good morning, dear Harvest LA family. Long time no see, and peace be with you all. This is Pastor Jackie, and today is Monday, November 16th, 2020. Today's passage is from Daniel 2, 1 to 13. In the second year of his reign, Nebuchadnezzar had dreams. His mind was troubled, and he could not sleep. So the king summoned the magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and astrologers to tell him what he had dreamed. When they came in and stood before the king, he said to them, "I have had a dream that troubles me, and I want to know what it means." Then the astrologers answered the king, "May the king live forever. Tell your servants the dream, and we will interpret it." The king replied to the astrologers, "This is what I have firmly decided. If you do not tell me what my dream was and interpret it, I will have you cut into pieces and your houses turned into piles of rubble. But if you tell me the dream and explain it, you will receive from me gifts and rewards and great honor. So tell me the dream and interpret it for me." Once more they replied, "Let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will interpret it." Then the king answered, "I'm certain that you are trying to gain time, because you realize that this is what I have firmly decided. If you do not tell me the dream, there is only one penalty for you. You have conspired to tell me misleading and wicked things, hoping the situation will change. So then, tell me the dream, and I will know that you can interpret it for me." The astrologers answered the king, "There is no one on earth who can do what the king asks. No king, however great and mighty, has ever asked such a thing of any magician or enchanter or astrologer. What the king asks is too difficult. No one can reveal it to the king except the gods, and they do not live among humans." This made the king so angry and furious that he ordered the execution of all the wise men of Babylon. So the decree was issued to put the wise men to death, and men were sent to look for Daniel and his friends to put them to death. Before I share my devo today, I just want to thank you all, my dear Harvest LA family, once again for your love and support in the past weeks to my family. It's still not easy, as I mentioned in my message last Sunday, but we trust in the eternal hope God has placed in our lives and look forward to the reunion with our daughter Evelyn in heaven in God's time. Thank you for keeping us in your thoughts and prayers. We feel loved because you exemplified the love of God to us in the way you cared for us. Thank you, and thank you all. Since the beginning of November, we have read through 1st and 2nd Thessalonians. From today, or actually this past weekend, we started a new book in the Old Testament Bible, the book of Daniel. You might actually find it familiar because 2 Sundays ago, the prophet Jeremiah came to our congregation and shared about the first 2 chapters of this book. So I won't go into the details of the background of this book, but focus more on today's content. This king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, or Chad, referring to Tiffany's devotional a few weeks ago, had a dream, and he was troubled because he didn't know what it means. Even though Babylon destroyed the 1,000 kingdom Judah, it wasn't because God blessed Chad with what he did. He was surrounded by the magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and astrologers that didn't even have any connections with our mighty God. They used evil spirits to do wicked things to please the king Nebuchadnezzar, but this time they had trouble because they couldn't make up a thing that the king dreamed about. In the passage tomorrow, in verse 19, we will learn about how God revealed the mystery to Daniel in a vision. But even for Daniel, it wasn't because of his own ability, so he could tell what the dream was about and to interpret it. None of us can do such thing unless we have an intimate connection and relationship with God like Daniel had. Like in chapter 1, Daniel had great reverence for God, so he denied to eat the royal food that would defile him. He stayed away from the temptation and evil so that he could remain this close relationship and connection with God. Only God Knows is the title of today's devotional in the Living Life Journal. So many things that we don't know why they would happen in our lives, but yes, only God knows. What we are supposed to do is to continue to dwell in God's presence, in His Word, in our prayers, with our family, or even at our workplace. My prayers for you is that God will strengthen our faith to stay connected with Him, no matter what we are going through at this moment. Stay blessed and safe, my dear sisters and brothers. See you next time. Bye-bye.